I get this question a lot of things, stepping forward, moving forward a little bit quickly. But I think the challenge today is that it is way more difficult today for an emerging artist to rely on a platform like Spotify to have them being the one for the distribution. To the point, what I think is important to everybody to know is that Spotify is also tracking a lot of external data points. So I think it's up to every artist to really do the first, I used to say like the first 1,000 hardcore fans, that's your job. That's going to reflect back into the system. And that's going to mean that you're going to be ranked in a different way when you start to get this number. So you have to really, if you're a brand new emerging artist and you want to release a record, I think getting the first 1,000 fans, that's your job, and
Mhm.
then trying to really engage them. It will spill over and eventually you will see it starting to reflect. But Spotify is way more a mirror of consumption today than actually a driver of new music. I think it's another thing to think about, which I think has made it a little bit more tricky. My hypothesis around when we created Tunigo from the beginning was this is the early, the mid 2000s, piracy is about to kill, the music industry in the Nordic countries and a lot of people trying to solve the problem. And when I started to see Spotify in 2007, something like that, in early betas, and see like this is the solution, the first thing that piqued my mind was that like it's a completely different industry. It means like it's not a transactional, depending on how much money you have. And I always said like keep in mind that in the old music industry, maybe 25% of the people that listen to music actually went into records. They looked them as like a very specialist kind of culture, and maybe you went
Mhm.
to a bigger kind of department store and buy your gift for Christmas, and stuff like that. So the hypothesis was like, if these people now that used to listen to radio and all the other things that was used to get curated is coming in and you combine basically radio and record stores, like eventually the majority wants some kind of guidance and it's going to be pretty impossible to navigate because Spotify from the beginning had a very, we say like hipster kind of music buff kind of core audience that created a playlist and stuff like that. But then when the other one started, we started to see like the lean back consumption increase. I don't know the numbers today, but I would assume it's super high. Most people come into the app, they find something, and they press play and they don't interact. And here's where the problem starts. So if you have like a really high percentage of lean back experience, you're not going to get a lot of the input data from people like skip
Mhm.
saving and stuff like that.